What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother, Son Soul X, in his joint. Check it out. Hit us up, www.kingandilife.com, for all our podcast info. Subscribe to whatever podcast platform that you choose. Also, hit us up, KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Email us your suggestions, your feedback, and all that good stuff. Tune in to us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because we are all over all those social media platforms. Stay tuned for the good stuff. Yeah,
politics, it's religion, it's morals. How is the culture like over there?
Well, I don't know. For me, probably because I don't know. For me, it's like a very regular culture. I think Egyptians are by nature there because they know they have been accepting a lot of nationalities from a lot of places. So they're always welcoming people, welcoming things into their lives. You would always expect maybe this is the time Egyptians would just stop accepting changes and accepting people, but no, we're always people are always like smiling and always just accepting people, even at darkest times. So it's I don't know, it's an ever shifting and ever changing environment and culture. You always see this. I don't know. America seems to me like sometimes like a riddle. Like sometimes I feel like there's a lot of space, empty space, and yet people kind of like are at each other's heads. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing for me to decipher.
it's hard for me to decipher at times, because it's just like you look at the world. Well, you look at your country and you say things can be so simple, and it's like, why are these people making things so hard? Like they make the simplest things so hard, and it's like I just don't understand it. Like you don't like people, but when people are in certain things like sports and stuff like that, you love them, and it's like, why can't you transfer that that affection and affinity for these people while they're athletes, and transfer that into everyday life? I don't get it, and it's crazy. It's really crazy these days.
For me, I stopped even trying to decipher humanity. Humanity sucks. For me. I don't know.
Yes.
For me, I'm like, okay, no. Thank you guys so much. I've had enough of you, and definitely of you. So for me, I'm just trying to get by, like get the things done and blah, blah, blah. Just for me, it's the most important and the most beautiful thing is when you connect with someone through poetry and art.
Yeah.
So that then the lines won't be blurred and you won't be dealing with the person in real life, and then you would hate them and they would hate you. So yeah.
Yeah. So are you how much of a, with all that being said, how much of a people person are you in public and in creativity?
Creativity, I'm just open to knowing people, but just friendships and stuff like that, no. I'm a very private person. I just don't like surrounding myself with people who are so close to me. It just gives me this panic, like, oh my God, no, please. So I think this is why I haven't, like my relationships haven't been for, like I've had a very bad cycle of relationships where it's either I'm just so into the relationship and I'm investing a lot into it, or I'm just backing off even at the beginning. Because I don't know, I haven't had really good experiences with people. For me, and now I've probably through therapy and like meditation and stuff like that, I've accepted myself that I'm not really that big of a people person. I'm more of an interaction person on a creative level, yes, but on a public sociable thing, like you would see me in a party just saying hi to everybody, dancing and stuff, and then disappearing. Because that was enough. I'm not like the person who is the wallflower. I might go and be like the animal for a moment, and then you wouldn't see me in there. I would be by nature on my own.
Yeah. I'm a people person, but I have my times where I don't like to be bothered at all. And it bothers other people that I don't like to be bothered because they take it personal. It's like, it's not you. It's just like, I like my peace and quiet.
Yeah.
I deal with people when I feel like dealing with them.
And the worst
And
is, yeah, I know what you mean. And the worst is when you're like me, like I give off the vibe that I'm a very friendly person because I'm just
mm-hmm,
talking about, I have a high voice and I'm a jokester and I just love to laugh and
mm-hmm,
get this sense of humor from my dad, of course. He has this very dry, cynical sense of humor. So I take it and people just laugh and then they look around and I'm not there. So the people just
right.
hate me there. And I'm like, why? We thought she was lovely. Oh, Jay is just so
Mm-hmm.
nice. And they would always complain to my sister, but my sister knows how to cover up for me.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, what other goals do you have that you would like to pursue other than traveling?
Just be in a creative project with as many people as I can. I want to collaborate on artistic stuff, making a
Mm-hmm.
movie together, just getting into stuff, making more poetry like the thing we're doing, making
Oh
art.
yes.
Yeah, definitely. Making art, creating art, connecting with the world through art and through other artists. Like going
Mm-hmm.
out there, having people interpret my art. These are my main goals, of course. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
finding a regular job as a translator. Like always having a job to support the art.
Right.
And the job has to
Yes.
be very similar to my character, which is I know now all the as if there is a cube and you know all the sides and the angles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know it, so I know what to fit into. So these are my
Right.
two
Right.
goals.
So, how often do you collaborate with people on creative projects?
I'm open all the time, but it has to click. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you meet people and you feel like you're so lucky, you're so blessed. Yeah, we're collaborating on something, and then things die out. Now
Yeah.
I'm accepting this. I accept it because I know maybe it's not for you guys. Maybe you guys were good in theory, not in practice.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
always out on the hunt for people to collaborate with them, seriously. But then when it
That's
clicks,
good.
it clicks. When it doesn't, it doesn't. Just
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What else do I want to ask you? Um, what are the top three things that give you writer's block?
I think, and I really hate it when I'm in a situation I don't like to be in. Like, like imagine being trapped in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
where you feel that this person, they have their hands at your throat. And you just
Yeah.
cannot breathe. You cannot breathe. It's like claws, man. I get nightmares about it until now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just terrible. And usually there are manipulative people who judge you all the time for everything you do, and you
Mm-hmm.
feel like your whole existence should diminish. So this is
Yeah.
something, of course, that blocks whatever I have. This and of course, just I don't know, like sometimes I go to dark places of trauma and stuff, and yes,
Mm-hmm.
I can express myself sometimes. Sometimes I just can't. But now I have become better at exploring it and at navigating it and getting myself out of it. So I would say in the past, this was cause of writer's block for me. And now,
Mm-hmm.
or stupidity. Like, when you're with stupid people or you're just hearing stupid
Oh
people
my gosh.
anywhere, like celebrities or just people in
Yeah.
your life or just whatever, of course, this kills your creativity. Like, imagine
Oh my
collaborating on
god.
artistic projects with people who know nothing about art, who know shit about anything, and they just want to be with you because it's so cool and we're collaborating, and they're not doing anything, not for them and not for you. Of course, it kills your creativity and it kills your funniness too. So, ugh, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean because like here's the crazy thing. And I want to know if you experienced this as well. I've been through trauma as well.
Yeah,
It creates writer's block and it creates a writing frenzy.
yeah,
I be around less than intelligent people.
yeah,
I want to be nice about it. And it sucks the creativity out of me and it puts me in a writing frenzy. Um, do you more often does the creativity get sucked out of you more often in those situations or does it put you in a writing frenzy?
I think trauma now I've learned how to use it for the writing frenzy. Why? Because the writing frenzy is like verbal written diarrhea, and then you get the moment,
Yeah.
you get the poem, you get the word, you get the story. That is so good. After all the mything and all the words. So now it's more of the writing frenzy because I learned to navigate trauma, to deal with it, to look it in the eye and to acknowledge it. Like now I know this is you. But in the past, of course, I was blind. I didn't know what was happening to me. Why was this happening to me?
Right.
As if you're at sea and it's a storm and you're being just, like you're as if you're seasick and the whole ship is just almost sinking and you don't know what to do. So this is what trauma did for me in the past. But now I know it and I look it in the eye, so the verbal frenzy comes and the written frenzy comes and I'm a happy woman.
Yeah. So you mentioned therapy. Because I've gone through therapy too for my trauma and stuff like that. What do you feel is better therapy for you? Writing or seeing a therapist?
Well, look, I don't know because for me, I haven't taken medications and stuff because I'm a pharmacist and I know like the side effects and stuff like that. For me, therapy was more like the cognitive therapy and the talking and stuff like that. But I take it when I feel like it's necessary. And I've always included art in it. Whether sometimes I take dance classes. I'm not a dancer, but I take it to express myself. I take art classes and painting just to express myself. So for me, it has to include art. And at the same time, writing, it just comes not only as therapy, but as a part of my project in which I explore myself and work on myself to get out. Like this artist, me, Jay, has been through a lot. And they are trying to navigate their place and find their place in the world. Because if not, then what's use of it? Why was all this crap? Why was all this bullshit even there? So for me to navigate it and explore it, therapy, I don't see it as a cornerstone, as a foundation of my existence, but as one of the things that will help me support this person, get them through another day, let them move and let them deal with all the pain and all the crap and all the sadness and all the cruelty. So it's just a part of it, but not a main. But writing is the air and the water that you, and of course you understand what I'm saying. It's what keeps you going. It's part of your DNA. You know what I mean? Like it's part of your DNA, and I know that because I come from a family where all the women wanted to be writers, but they had to marry and settle down and stop at a certain point, which is why my mother was so adamant that I shouldn't. My mother was right after me, like, you should not stop. Never. Whatever you do, I don't care about your choices. Pick your choices, pick your man, pick your whatever, but don't you dare stop. Don't do like me.
That's good. That's good advice. That's very good advice. Yeah. So as a writer, as a creative, we are sensitive about our stuff.
Definitely.
Have you ever, and you said when you write in Arabic you get judged, but when you write in English you don't care. But have you ever had moments to where someone is asking too many questions about what you write, meaning they're asking you what it means instead of interpreting it on their own, or judging it? Do you ever get to the point where you get so frustrated with people because they're critiquing you too much or asking you too many questions, and in your mind it's obvious of what you wrote? Do you ever get that frustration?
Yeah, but I think it's also part of when I'm talking to you right now, it's from a very good place. In the past, I would have answered a different answer because I wasn't in a good place. But now I've learned with the help of even my sister and stuff like that, how to put a barrier between me and what those people see and what they perceive. Yes, do not go into kind of like pointless situations where you feel like people like, okay, like you write for instance something on Twitter, for example, and people are like, you don't know shit, you're stupid. Don't go in there, and just acknowledge that these people are there and they're gonna do that, and analyze the situation. Like for me, always my sister would tell me, like, analyze. Why were they after you? Was the movie popular that you wrote about? Did you write an unpopular situation? Were they kind of like angry that you're a woman and you wrote this situation? And that tries to make me, because when you're creative, you're out there in every aspect of life with your emotions, with your heart. You're not handling
Yeah.
it as a logical situation and an emotional situation. Emotions just get muddled with logic. So my sister
Hmm.
taught me how to separate a logical situation from an emotional, and that gave me power. So for me to be put
Right.
into that situation, I would be like, I know you judge me, and I know what you're saying is bullshit, and I hate it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna let it pierce me. It does not personally
Right.
affect me. So I don't feel really bad about it, because in the past I would feel awful about it. I would be so hurt because you're a creative person, you're a writer, you're a poet, for fuck's sake, you're putting your soul out there. What the fuck are these people saying? So
Hmm.
for you to just logically analyze every single aspect of the situation it gives you power over something you're so
Hmm.
powerless over. Because art makes us powerless. Art is just a way of making us powerless.
Yeah.
Art makes us vulnerable. And it's
Yeah.
bad, but we have to be vulnerable or else we wouldn't be art.
Yeah. I understand that. But I still get. Um, I think the most frustrating part about it for me is
Tell me.
when there's people who either don't understand poetry or they're not into poetry and or they're not into your poetry and they give you fake support or obnoxious criticism, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
if you're not into it or you don't care about it, why are we having this conversation? Because it's like you're insulting me at this point.
You know what you do? Just take yourself out of it. Look, of course, I'm the worst person to give advice on anything. Don't ask me. But I'm just telling you what the J person does. What J does. J does is just she smiles at all these assholes, and she's just like, "Oh, thank you so much. You've been a great
Oh
help." And
my
then I just get
goodness.
out of the situation and go alone. And just
Mm.
like, ugh, yeah. For me, it's like because these people are gonna be there. They're gonna be there in my face everywhere I go. But now I learned how to kind of like walk within this bubble every time of the year,
Hmm.
every time of the day,
Mm.
facing them because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And then like, why don't you write about this? Oh, why did you write this? Like, I remember this stupid group where I just published this poem, okay? And this woman goes and like, she's like, very dark. And I'm like, yeah, I write like dark poetry. Don't read it.
Oh
Are you serious?
wow.
You want to read about flowers and kisses and babies? Go somewhere else, bruh.
Mm.
But what can you do? It's just the way the world
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
I think that's funny. People want you to write about certain things, and it's like, I'm not in that headspace. I'm gonna write about this, and
Exactly.
that's where I'm comfortable at. I've had people ask me to write for them, write about them, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Right about you. Yeah. Of course.
right
Absolutely.
now you don't want me to do that because I have a thought over here, and if I redirect that energy to your request, it's not going to be something that you're going to like.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Imagine me writing about you. Haha. It's for
Yeah,
you. Imagine what you're
it's
gonna
like, you know
read.
what,
Good
you
riddance.
might not even be my favorite person today, so you
Yeah.
don't want me to write
You
about
don't
you.
want me to write about you, bruh. Trust me, you're not gonna like it. Ooh. Really? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Well, it's your funeral.
yeah. I don't think you want me to do that today, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
need you to back up off me for real quick.
Yeah,
Nah,
exactly.
ease
Right.
up. Yeah. So tell us about your books that you have out. Let's give us a short description of your books that you've published.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you especially about I think the two poetry books because I'm so proud of them. I'm so happy with them. Bury My Womb on the West Bank, this collection of poems. They've been written about a certain really difficult part in my life. I wasn't financially stable and I was during the manipulative relationship. And at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
I used some of the Egyptian heritage, like the name of the old gods and stuff like that, as
Mm-hmm.
inspiration for my writing. Even all the poems and the titles are written in names of either real places, real ancient places here, or at the same time gods and goddesses and kings and queens, Egyptian kings and queens and stuff like that. So this is Bury My
Okay.
Woman, the best thing. I think it has some elements of motherhood too in it, and
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Um, as for Workstation Blues, this was almost an accurate diary of my life
Mm.
at a job that I really hated. It was, I think
Mm.
it was at this time when I returned to writing English poetry again. Oh,
Okay.
just a second. Who's this loser? Sorry, it was the phone. I can't believe myself. Yeah, see me how I love people? Oh, calling me on
Oh
the phone,
my.
you can die now. Yeah. So this was, yeah. So Workstation Blues is just, Workstation Blues is especially close to my heart because it was my reinstalling into writing English poetry. Because when I was
Mhm.
with this person, they they didn't understand English and they hated that I wrote in English, the gaslighting
Mm.
relationship. So they would be
Mhm.
like, why are you writing in English? Nobody's reading for you. You don't have readership, blah, blah, blah. And instead
Oh.
of just doing what I do now, where I'm so happy with one reader or no readers at all, I would I
Mhm.
would let it affect me and affect my self-esteem and my confidence and stuff like that. So I stopped until I went to this job and it was a terrible job and I hated every moment of it. So I thought, what would I do? I watched this movie Patterson by Jim Jarmusch, and I found this
Mhm.
bus driver who wrote poems every single day, inspired by non-existent daily simple life events. So I
Mm.
thought, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to this job that I hate and just see all the monitors. I was working in a cubicle, and I hated it
Mhm.
so much because I felt like I was like the crowd. I was one in a million. I could be anybody. I could
Right.
go, I could disappear and I'd be a monitor. So I got inspired by everything, by my workplace drama, my
Mm.
wrongful workplace romance with this person who was my manager, by all my ailments, all my difficulties, all the sickness that I had because I got sick during this time,
Mhm.
everything. And when I finished it, I started publishing it online, like, ah, I don't even care. Even my partner was just angry that I was writing in English again. I didn't even care about them.
Mhm.
And this publishing house just loved it. And they suggested I submit to them. So
Mm.
for me, I hold it so close to my heart because it just kind of like documents a very specific moment in my life where there was, yes,
Right.
there was pain and hurt and I wasn't even myself, but I was creating despite all of that. And that's the beauty, I think, of art.
Okay. So, with both your poetry books, were are the poems specifically to the title, or were they random and you just fit them into the title?
It depends. Some and some. Some are like that and some are like that.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I asked that because my first book, Taste My Poetry, Taste My Soul, I just
Lovely name.
like from 97 up to 2015, I just said, all right, I'm gonna grab this one, 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 this, and I'm gonna throw them in a book, and it's all random.
Wow.
Um, so my second book, Ballads of a Poeteer, I made sure that it was mainly love poems and relationship poems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, because I
yeah. So
think
that,
this book was inspired by a relationship. Maybe that's why.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
why I
that's
asked that
why.
because, yeah,
That's why it was
yeah.
all dedicated to it. This is what I'm telling you because Workstation Blues, for example, was dedicated to this stage in my life. The job that I hated,
Mm-hmm.
the gaslighting. But at that time, I didn't even know I was gaslit. I didn't know the relationship was abusive. I thought it was good and I'm the shitty person. I'm the bad person
Mm-hmm.
because I'm creative.
Right.
Now that I'm looking at it, yes, now my writing acknowledge that I've been gaslit. So it's so good to
Mm-hmm.
see the contrast. This is why your second poetry collection was about love and relationships, because it documents the lover in you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even the
Right.
sad lover one. So this is the beauty when you reach, like, let's say you're 80 and people look at
Mm-hmm.
your, like, the complete poetry collection. This is what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
And this is what I love. Like, what are they gonna say about 80-year-old Jay if she makes it to 80? You never know,
Oh
man.
my. And your other books are short stories. So
The Arabic one's a collection of short stories and two novels, of
mhm.
course. Two
Okay,
novels.
so the short stories, what was the motivation behind that? Are they random short stories? Do they have a certain direction?
No, just gender identity crisis because I've seen a lot of
Oh.
people with that, and
Hmm.
metamorphosis. It kind of blended the supernatural with the realistic in a way,
Okay.
and it was weird. Like someone would have a tumor, and then the tumor would grow wings and fly and stuff like that. It
Oh wow.
triggered
That's
the
interesting.
yeah, but they haven't been translated unfortunately, and I don't know if they will ever be. So I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so are you working on another book
A
or are
poetry
you
book.
just
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, and it's gonna be
Arabic or
wild.
English?
No, no, I told you I stopped writing in Arabic. Yeah.
So you're never going to write in Arabic again.
Maybe I'll write if we are working on a project. I'll write a poem in Arabic. You're gonna get that, and I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
We're gonna both do weird stuff together. Yeah, if I'm collaborating with someone, I'll be happy. But this
Okay.
poetry book is gonna be in English.
Okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What else can I ask? That's about it.
Why are you
Um
interrogating me? What is
huh?
this background in interrogation? No,
It's
stop
an
it.
interview, damn it.
Stop it. Enough is enough.
Oh
Well,
my
I've had so much
goodness.
fun being interrogated by you. Blah blah.
Oh my,
Uh-huh.
I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
so as the world should know, we are working on our first collaboration. Um,
Aren't you
I'm
happy?
definitely looking forward to that.
Oh my god, me too.
So my first question about that
Hell.
interrogation continues. Um,
Ooh.
when I presented the idea to you, what was your first thought?
I'm so happy. Let's do it. Fuck, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's me. That's Jay.
yeah. I think it came out great.
I know. And it's
Um,
gonna be greater even. I'm just so excited to continue.
yeah, I'm so ready to put it out. And I'm ready for the world to hear it. I'm
Me
ready
too.
for, and for me, I've collaborated before, but I can honestly say this is
That's the
the
thing.
most exciting collaboration because I'm collaborating with someone almost halfway across the world. So
And see, we're
that
still
makes it,
connected.
yeah, that makes it a grander experience for me. And
Mm.
when I put it together, I heard your verses and I put it together, and I was like, wow, it's like they complement and contrast each other so well that it's like you got to sit back and be like, let me listen to that again.
I know. It's so
Yeah,
wild. It's so wild. It's so wild, I think. And I love this. Like,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
wild ones. We're exploring the world with whatever we're doing. We're just
yeah,
having so much
definitely.
fun. So, yeah.
Yeah. Um, what else? You talked about acting.
No, me? Never. I don't act. I just do voice work from time to time.
Oh, voice work,
Yeah.
voice work. So you would never do skits and acting and stuff like that. I think
If
you
we
would.
ever
I
will,
think you would be good in it.
I don't know. Maybe if we find like this team of really cool people willing to work on a project, you never know. I never say never because life is so unexpected. So you never say.
Hmm.
I learned never to say never because if you told me a year ago that I would be collaborating with this really cool American poet on a project, I'd tell
Hmm.
you what? No, I'm not collaborating with anybody. I'm just sitting here sulking and sad. So now, you never know if you come like November 2023,
Hmm.
maybe the first short movie would be out there and we'd all be celebrating and happy.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right, right,
yeah,
right. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, that's all I have. I mean, it was a joy talking to you, finally
me
getting this
too.
done.
Me too. I love it.
Look
And I've
forward
been
to doing it
working on
again.
it. Me too.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too.
Look forward to doing this again. Look forward to more collaborations.
Definitely. Oh my God.
Yeah, we definitely got to get some more done. But
Yeah.
tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Okay. Instagram, Jaylan Salman. Twitter, Jaylan Salman. I publish almost all my poetry on theprose.com, most of my film criticism on Synchronized Chaos magazine. So I put everything on my Twitter and on my Instagram. So just make sure to check them out.
Yes, definitely go check her out. Wait, do you have a YouTube channel yet?
No, not yet. No. Maybe after our
What are you waiting
collaboration,
for?
I will. Maybe
Okay,
after our
all right.
collaboration, I'll just start.
All right. I'll let you get that done.
All right.
After the collaboration. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for coming through the King and I Life podcast. Look forward to you coming back. Look forward to more collaborations with you. Whatever they may be. I'm gonna try to get to Egypt and hang out with you. So you can show me all the great spots and stuff, all that.
Trust me, I'll take
I
you on
definitely want to try the food out there.
You have just my sister is an expert. She has a food blog, so we'll take you.
Oh, okay.
Place. Yeah, so we're the experts here. Come on, you just come.
Okay, I'm ready for it. But yeah. Until next time, the King and I Life podcast and my poetic friend Jay. We'll catch you on the next one.